Springfield, 4 wide receivers. And now the quarterback keeps. Quarterback very close to first down yardage. We'll wait and see what the spot is. He was driven back behind the 50, but he may have been given forward progress to about the 49. And if that's the spot, it'll be a first down. And I think it's actually a good spot. They're going to bring the chains out here. It's either going to be 4th down or first down. But I actually think it's a very good spot by the linesman based on where the Chacho was. There we go. First down for Springfield.
21.
The chain gang taking their good old time getting off the field. 2:56 to go here, quarter number 1. And
give him the play again. Give him the play again.
2 wide receivers on the near end. Davis, the setback, it'll go to him straight ahead. Nice single tackle there made by Danny May. And this is one of those years, you don't see it every year, but this is one of those years where the Interboro quarterback is going to see significant time on defense. A lot of years the quarterback plays quarterback and that's it, but a kid the size of Dan May, you're going to see play, they're going to take advantage of that size and you're going to see him play that linebacker spot. Davis again, not much this time. First guy to hit him, number 20, Chris Thomas. So 3rd down at about 5. This time to pass. And it was a little bit high, but that ball should have been brought down by Joe Kennedy. And it'll be a punting situation. The pass could have been better, but it also should have been caught. So back deep once again, it'll be Hummel and Connor Adams. Joe Davis to punt. Coach staff imploring the Bucks to watch the fake. It is kind of in the area of the field where you would see that, but Joe Davis punt that goes, he was looking for that coffin corner, and to be quite honest with you, boy, 32-yard line. So, quite frankly, that was an 11-yard punt. He had the right idea, but he didn't get the angle where he wanted it. So, an 11-yard punt gives the Bucks pretty decent field position, 32-yard line. Certainly better than being backed up into the corner. And they'll be back at it with 1:34 to go in the quarter and try and grind it out a few more yards. Get some first downs, and that's how Coach likes to play. Keep the ball as long as he can. Thomas hitting the backfield. Great job up the middle, this time by number 54, Justin Shields. 208-pound nose guard. So 2-yard loss. And that's really a breakdown in the offensive line. You can't let a guy get through like that, especially that quickly. I mean, Thomas had no chance. Shields was in the backfield and hit him almost before he got the handoff from Dan May. And it looks like we could have a timeout, as there seems to be some confusion on the offense. Yeah, Shaw, Hummel, and Thomas all going in different directions, not quite knowing where they're supposed to go. So 1 minute exactly to go, quarter number 1. We have a decent crowd on hand here. It's the first game of the season. A lot of Springfield faithful, as you figured there would be. Springfield's certainly not far from here. A lot of parental involvement with Springfield. Good people, neighbors of ours. And coming off a good season like they had, you figure that they'll have high hopes for this year, even with the loss of a bunch of graduating seniors. Our crowd, not too bad. It is Labor Day weekend. It is the first game of the year. School hasn't officially started yet, so some people haven't even made their way into school. This first game sometimes is a little bit tough to get a crowd, although I thought there was a pretty decent crowd at this game last year. We opened up with Springfield last year. It was just at Springfield. So this time the sweep to the outside. This is that sophomore I was telling you about. His name, and you're going to need to know his name, Kaylee Kuyate. Coach Buno was raving about him as he was walking in. About 5 o'clock today, Coach Buno and I were outside having a conversation about this year's team, and he says, watch this kid. Sophomore, you're going to see him rotated in offensively and defensively. So, Kuyate, number 23. And he sweeps to the outside. It'll be third down and about 6. High formation, Shaw is the fullback. You can't miss him. Thomas, they're going to try and throw it this time to Hummel, but May overshoots him. Wasn't even really close. Right idea on third down, but it'll bring up fourth down. And you'll see Nate Murtha again. The back D for Springfield would be number 6, Pupillo and Brett Sheeran. They'll line up around the 30 and 25-yard lines, awaiting the kick. It's more of a crosswind than anything, if there is any wind at all. And the punt is, if Springfield would be wise to just walk away from that. DeSands downs at the 35-yard line. That's where Springfield take over. So 38 seconds to go. Quarter number 1. Only scoring of the game thus far. 23-yard touchdown pass from Danny May to Matt DeSands in the corner of the end zone here. And that made it 6-0. After a penalty on the conversion by Springfield, Interboro decided to go for 2. We're unable to convert. That's why we have a 6-0 score. This time the quarterback keeps it, rolls to the outside, and is brought down by number 51, Steve Royer. The 42-yard line, so it'll be 5-yard gain. Springfield a little more spread out this time, 3 wide receivers. And Interboro jumps off sides. I don't think he was drawn off, but Thomas definitely crossed the plane, and they don't give him a chance to get back here in high school. If you cross, it's a foul. So 5 yards, and that'll probably be a first down. It is. So 47-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Cougars. You hate to give away first downs like that. And now an official's timeout. That's actually the end of the quarter. So we're done 1 quarter of play here at South Avenue Sports Complex. Your Springfield Cougars, or your Interboro Bucks, are leading the Springfield Cougars by a score of 6-0. So while we have an opportunity during the break between the two quarters, we have a few changes that have taken place with the Interboro Athletic Department. Tony Mecriello, who did a fine job as athletic director last year, it was sort of a one-and-done stint for him. He is back in the classroom. He had realized that he's way too awesome of a teacher to not be in the classroom, so he did an awesome job as athletic director. He's going to be back in the classroom this year. We start to dominate again on Tuesday. He takes all the AP US, I take all the AP government, and we feel like we do a pretty decent job. So Meck's back in the classroom, and Ed Kloss, who is also a member of the history department, will be taking over, has taken over as athletic director / assistant principal. We're excited to have Mr. Kloss serve in that capacity, and he has done an admirable job thus far. A lot of the changes that were instituted last year, Mr. Kloss has carried on, and I'm sure he will bring with him some programs of his own. And he's here tonight, ready to sort of his, I guess, real first event as a game manager, Mr. Kloss. Assistant Athletic Director Joe Barrett still in that same position. And you can follow all the action for Interboro Athletics on Twitter at GoBucksSports. So make sure you give them a follow if you haven't already at GoBucksSports. And also, you can check us out on the Interboro channel. This game will be available on tape delay, of course, with some fine editing by my new tag team partner. Her name is Kate Magliacetti, or something like that. She'll tell me eventually. I've mispronounced it several times. But just Mrs. M, or Miss M is how she should be known around here. This is this big guy, Archibong, 6'6", gets down to the 30-yard line on the first down. And there's a flag on the play. We'll see what that flag was. Matt Ochuda not real happy. I'm not sure if that flag was on him or somebody who hit him. But Archibong down to the 30-yard line. And a personal foul on Springfield, so they'll get the first down, then they'll get knocked back 15 yards. So Ochuda hit after the whistle. And this team that's on the field right now for Interboro, there aren't really many clowns out there, and I wouldn't expect to see nearly the amount of stupid penalties and personal fouls. This is a pretty good group of kids, and I think that's why this coaching staff is so excited about this year. And I'll get back to some of these changes in a second. We got some football we have to take care of right now, but next time there's a little break in the action, we'll get back to some of the information that you as Bucks fans need to know. And these guys these refs are going to caucus here, and they're going to talk to Coach Lennox. It is a first down, if that's what Coach is worried about. He did earn the first down on the play, and then I guess it wasn't it's a post-possession foul, and that's what drove it back 15 yards, and that's why it's a first down for Springfield. Coach Lennox looking for some clarification there. And finally, we're back to action here. And once again, they jump. This time it's Macmillan. They'll give him 5 free ones. A 3 wide receiver set. This time it's a different ball carrier for the Springfield Cougars. Number 25, Philip Shovlin. To the 34-yard line, first down. Wide receiver Todd Johnson checks in. He's over here on our side. Near end of your screen, singled up with Connor Adams. But the pass is going the other way. This goes to number 7, Brett Sheeran. He gets about 4 yards, near the 30. Go 2 wide receivers on the far end and 1 on the near end. The man in motion is Sheeran. Snap, low, bobbled. Chaco falls on top of it. Thomas barrels into him, but a big loss on the play for the Cougars. Remember, once the knee goes down, the play is over. Springfield coach is calling for a penalty on Thomas, and I guess in the letter of the law, perhaps it was late, but Thomas didn't drill him. He just gave him a little love tap there. I don't think it merited a penalty. Most refs probably would not call it, and this one did not. Chaco takes it himself. Great play by Steve Royer. Probably won't go down as a sack because he was out of the pocket, but Royer, I mean, if he was the one making the stats, he would give himself a sack, but I think he'll just go down as a tackle for loss by Royer, but a great job. And man, did the team really suffer when he got hurt last year. He was playing some great football. And on top of that, he's an awesome kid. Good student, very likable young man, and he's the kind of kid, if he can stay healthy, could be in for a very strong year. And Springfield, well, there's a timeout on the field. So 9:16 to go, quarter number 2. Stay tuned for us to not have a halftime show this week. Band has the week off. Which is weird since it's the first week, but they have the week off this week, so they won't be playing. So I'm sure through the magic of Miss M's editing, we'll probably skip right into the third quarter after the second quarter is over. But most weeks when we're home and here at the South Avenue Sports Complex at halftime, this is about the time I will be talking about the halftime show. Next week, we'll be right back here against Strathaven. And the week after that, we'll be right back here against Sussex Central. And I love me some Friday night football, so every Friday for the next 3 months, I'll be somewhere watching football, whether it's here or somewhere else. But next week, we'll be here. It'll be Interboro against Strathaven, their second straight Central League opponent. Hummel with the fair catch at the 8-yard line. Some people say the rule of thumb is inside the 10, you let it go, but they could have easily rolled down to the 1 or 2. So I'm not so sure that Hummel didn't do the right thing. He probably did on that play. So Buck's not real good field position with 9:09 to go in quarter number 2. Let's see if they can string together a couple of first downs. And up the middle is Thomas for about 6. Good job by Chris Thomas in the interior line to open up a hole big enough for Thomas to get through. That line, McLaughlin, Brooks, Frangeli, Macmillan, and Tynes. Those are the 5 big boys up front. As well as Chase Pattinson. Thomas, another couple yards. Not enough for a first down. Be third down and about 2. Would be nice to hear the band, though. I mean, it's just, and I say this not to be critical. I say this because I just love the band. I mean, it's like, you know, I remember one time my wife took me to a concert. It was Bruce Springsteen. I'm sure you've heard of him, but it was like a solo and acoustic show, and the E Street Band wasn't there. So it's like you're seeing Bruce Springsteen, but without the band. And quite frankly, the show wasn't very good. Lamar Shaw with the first down. So I'll be looking forward to next Friday. I think we'll have the total package here. We'll have all 3 points of the triangle: the football team, the cheerleaders, and the football and the band, and hopefully you'll join us one way or another, either out here at the South Avenue Sports Complex or home, the comfort of your own home. One of these years we even get to do this stuff live. We'll see, maybe that's on the agenda too one of these times. And also, I think we might even be able to get a color guy here. I think Mr. Meck, now that he's teaching again, may be able to come and join us up here in the booth, either him or Mr. Barrett. May overshoots the Sands by about 15 yards. Good thought, but he was double covered.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah. Most of these routes on Interboro routes are one receiver routes, so it's very easy for the other team to double cover, and that's exactly what happened there. And the Sands doesn't quite have the same type of breakaway speed that Mark Everton had. Now, Everton actually is in the stands. I saw him. I was talking to him a little bit earlier. High formation. This time they're going to go with the sweep, and a good job by Hummel to cut back to the 25-yard line. So not much. 3rd down and long. Maybe about 9. We're under 7, 6:50 and counting. Oh, May brings in the play from Coach Lennox, and we'll have this 3rd and 9 call. Even though Springfield hasn't moved the ball, you certainly can't be comfortable with just a 6-0 lead, because all it takes is one defensive touchdown or special teams touchdown, or they can break one. I mean, it happened so many times last year. Thomas straight up the middle, ball on the ground, and then that's exactly what I'm talking about. Springfield picks up the fumble and has fantastic field position at the 37, and Papillo picked it up, and Thomas fumbled it forward about 6 or 7 yards, and Papillo picks it up, and 37-yard line is going to be where the Springfield Cougars have it.
No, keep Hudak out. Keep Hudak out.
And that's what I'm referring to by saying the 6-0 lead is just not really a comfortable lead. And even though Interboro has dominated the time of possession and really been the more physical team, and you know, certainly, I mean, if this was like boxing and you could win by decision, Interboro would definitely win by decision. But it's a matter of who scores the most points. And Interboro does have 6, and Springfield has nothing. But they could very easily at this point see themselves going into the half losing, having outplayed Springfield really in all facets of the game. But that's why you want to try and avoid turnovers at all costs. And the fumble by Thomas, normally very short-handed, could potentially cost him. But we'll see how the defense does. Up the middle, not much. Davis gets like 1, 2 maybe to the 35. Hudak and Sheeran are the 2 wide receivers on the near end. He's going to pass.
Corner.
Looking for Sheeran.
Yeah.
And Sheeran does a nice job getting inside Kuyate. And the ball down to the 14-yard line. It was actually pretty good coverage by the young sophomore, but Sheeran did a good job of getting inside of him. And to be quite honest with you, the Chaco did a nice job putting it in a spot where only Sheeran could get it. And we have 1st down inside the 14-yard line for the Cougars. So their first trip inside the red zone. It's Davis. Really, it is standard for him, about 2-3 yards. They don't get a whole lot on the ground.
Game tight slot.
And Kuyate just has to shake that one off because he actually didn't play that poorly. .445 and counting. Quarter number 2. Davis again, outside, can't get upfield. Tackled by Hummel. Conrad, or DeSands also in. It'll be 3rd down. And this time it's going to be a sweep. And read extremely well. And this time Kuyate makes a great play. Brings down Papillo for a big loss of about 7 yards, and it'll be 4th down. Back where the drive, or back where the series of downs began, actually behind that 16-yard line. So 4th down. And they're going to look over the middle, and another good job by Kuyate. So 3 plays he was in on this time, and he batted this one down. A great job by the young man. And Interboro will take over at the 16-yard line, so that turnover winds up not hurting. And Coach D'Esposito will tell you every time, coach, it is a lot easier when you have athletes. It's a lot better when you have players, and it looks like there's a couple out there, a couple of good natural athletes, good guys with good attitudes. And I feel like I'm going to have to go meet this kid in the hallways this weekend, or this week, once school starts. And now Springfield jumps off sides. It was in the middle somewhere. It was either Archibald or number 54, Justin Shields, who made that fantastic play a few drives ago. But it'll be 1st and 5, so that'll help out a little bit. 3:20 to go. And we'll step away for a few minutes once the half hits. We'll rejoin you in the 3rd quarter. There's nothing to see here, if you will. Thomas, room to run. 1st down and more. Still on his feet, out to the 40-yard line. As we go under 3 minutes, Interboro were really their best play on the ground of the game. Shaw, yet to touch the ball. Maybe after that long carry, maybe it'll be his turn. He does get it. And the big bruising fullback won't get much. The big thing now is just hold on to the ball and then don't get up and hit anybody. And those are really the 2 things you concern yourself with. And he seems to have done both of those things. A good job by Lamar Shaw. Tuck that jersey in. And Matt O'Chuda will check into the game. And he'll play the fullback position. So they're giving up a little size, going from Shaw to O'Chuda. Reverse this time around. And DeSands has some room, but it closes up quickly. Archibong, as well as number 16, Dini Moreno, with the tackle. And Moreno was the other guy that was in on that quarterback battle. And I guess he came in second. Actually, that was Anthony DeVario that made that tackle. My apologies, Anthony. Either way, it's 3rd down and about 7. And May back to pass. Again, into double coverage. And it's a real tough pass to make. You have to throw it in a specific spot. And there was a spot open for him to throw it. He would have had to throw it more near the sidelines because the Sands did have the 2 guys behind him. But there's a lot of pro quarterbacks can't make that throw. And that, sometimes when you have these 1 receiver routes and you have double coverage, it's really, really tough for the quarterback to make that throw. Especially when you have a kid who's playing his first varsity game like Dan May. 42-yard line, so you'll see Murtha back to punt. Springfield not convinced he's going to punt. And down to the 25-yard lines where Joe Davis picks it up. The Sands is outrun. Davis still on his feet. And there is a flag down, so this one's going to come back. So this good field position by Springfield will almost definitely be negated. It is very rarely do you see a flag in that area of the field on the kicking team. And it is an illegal block. So Springfield will be forced to go back, and they'll have under a minute to try to get across the field. Good representation down there by our administration, as all 4 members of the administrative team are down there. We have Mr. Conti and Mr. Meck and Mr. Snyder and Principal Johnson. They're all down there.
The other guy. Everybody's bouncing every run.
Up the middle, Kyle Long. Springfield in no real sense of urgency here. I guess they figure if they can pop one, great. If not, sometimes coach looking at the clock to see if he's going to call a timeout. And they did stop temporarily for a 1st down, so there's no need to call a timeout now. Up the middle for about 9, Kyle Long. And we'll wait and see if Springfield now going to call a timeout. And that was an injury time for Dan May. That's what that was. No, they did not. So Springfield didn't call time. Danny May taken off the field, whether it be an equipment thing or he was dinged up. 1st down, Long again inside the 50. Now they'll stop the clock temporarily, and they will give Springfield enough time to fire one into the end zone if they want to. So Springfield does call timeout. They'll have enough time, where we assume, for one more play. We'll see what they have up their sleeve. Just not a whole lot of quarterbacks that can chuck one from the 50 into the end zone. Not at the high school level, but we'll see.
So go.
You figure Interboro will be back in to prevent.
Trigger flag. Trigger flag. 11.
Now I hear what they're calling. I have the advantage of being next to the Springfield bench, and I don't think they're going to throw it deep into the end zone based on what I'm hearing here. But this is just, you know, me doing a little recon. What do they call that? Eavesdropping. We'll wait and see. Now the Springfield kid's not in the right spot. They have 3 guys on the right, so they may very well launch in the end zone, but I don't think the coach, I don't think they're in a formation that corresponds to what the coach called. They do launch it, and actually the Shearing gets behind the defender, and that could have been a little interesting. Hummel and number 14, Mike Chamberlain, were on the defense, but Shearing got behind him, and had that throw had a little more muster on it, we could have been looking at a 6-6 game. But we're not. 20 minutes on the clock for absolutely no reason. So it's halftime, and we'll see you when we get back from halftime. I'm going to sit up here and have a Coke and a smile, and I'll be with you in the third quarter. Take care. All right, back to action here. Shearing back deep to kick, fumbles the kickoff, but recovers nicely and is working his way up the 30-yard line. And tackle made. Number 31, Colin Rayford, a little bit lucky not to have a late hit called there. It wasn't egregious, but definitely something an officious referee could have called. 6-0 our score here at the beginning of quarter number 3. 33-yard line will be the line of scrimmage. I don't see any major personnel changes on either side. Chacho. Pressured by Pattinson, and he is not going to get away from him. Sacked by Chase Pattinson back at the 24-yard line. And that's one that the coaches will pull him aside during the film session tomorrow or Monday and say, son, you got to throw that ball away. He's out of the pocket. All he had to do was just rear back and fire it into the stands, because you do not want to take an 8-yard, 9-yard loss on the first play of the half. 2nd down and 16 is what they call it. I think it's a little bit more than that personally. And it's a nice stick by Danny May. Good form tackle. And the Bucs defense coming out hitting here in the second half. So 3rd down and long, 3 wide receivers on the near end. Pretty much an obvious passing down. They're going to run it anyway with Kyle Long, and they get nothing. So not a lot of confidence in the passing game if they can't go on 3rd and 16 or so, and they don't want to make a throw. Or they're just trying to fool the Bucs defense with the draw, but they weren't going to be fooled. So back deep will be Hummel and Connor and Adams. Hummel and Adams. Joe Davis to punt. The snap is good. The punt is good. And I don't know if it hit him or not, but a good job by Hummel to fall on it. Springfield coaches seem to think it hit him. I actually don't think it hit him. But either way, the Sands turned around and picked it up, so it's a 35-yard line will be the Bucs' first drive of the third quarter. .30-60 official line of scrimmage, 9:51 to go in the in the third quarter. May the quarterback, Shaw and Thomas. It goes to Thomas. Thomas outside. He'll get. Oh, he was not off to the races, but off to a first down. He got shoestring tackled. The 43-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 4, but he had a run. Inside handoff this time. I went to Hummel, not for much though. Third down and short, maybe about a yard and a half. Ball spotted at the 45. The Sands out. May into the huddle. I think some type of power move here for that short yardage. Shaw and Thomas, the running backs. And they're stuffed behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they're switching out. Yep.
That Shaw a little shaken up. I'll get the medical staff out there. So 4th down and no sense in really chancing it here. Springfield's offense has been really ineffective. Again, we said this earlier in the game, a 6-0 lead is not a comfortable lead, but it is better than being down 6-0. So from the 44.5-yard line, the line of scrimmage, they'll get Vic Murtha back to punt. Looks like Sheeran is the only guy back, and they don't think Vic Murtha has much of a leg, so they're going to bring him inside the 30 to about the 32. And Murtha actually boots one over his head. Fair catch by Sheeran. 25-yard line will be there where Springfield will have their second half possession. So Bucks defense lines up. Springfield, they call their first play of each possession in the huddle or on the sidelines, and they'll come right out and two wide receivers on the near end, Joe Kennedy and Jeremy Hudak. The man in motion is Sheeran. He'll get it and look to set up a wall. He gets past that first level, but only until he can run into Chris Hummel, and Hummel will stop him short of the 30-yard line. So they get about 4 yards, maybe 5 on the play. The play, if he was able to turn that upfield, would have gone for big yardage, but he was unable to do so. This time the two wide receivers are on the far end, but it's all for naught because McMillan jumps off sides. McMillan and I believe Frangelli, one of the two, will get charged with the offsides. And that'll be very close to first down yardage, 2nd down and 1. But I'll tell you, if that's what you would consider an undisciplined penalty, and I guess it is, it beats some of the stuff you saw last year where there was a ton of personal fouls. That's the stuff that really gets you beat. I mean, this doesn't help, as Sheeran catches a swing pass to the outside for a first down to about the 42-yard line. Mike Chamberlain, the tackle. 42 will be the line of scrimmage. 6:48 to go. And on the ready, they'll run that clock. This time you have a different guy carrying the ball, number 25, Philip Shovlin. He's carried it once or twice before. That's it. He hasn't seen the ball many times. Gets about 5. And Springfield actually ripping off a little bit bigger chunks this half on the ground. Before it was 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 yards, and now they're starting to get these 4s and 5s. And it could be attributed to the fact that the Bucks are playing both ways. A good number of the players are going both ways. Springfield looking over for the play. Now the Chacho will give the signal to the line. And Shovlin again. Shovlin for a first down. Inside the 40. Chamberlain brings him down, but not before Shovlin Darnley ran him over. Not a big kid, listed at 165 pounds, but he had a head of steam. And they'll give it to him again, basically the same play, the last 3 plays. 4 yards. This time they seal it off. And listen, they'll take 5 yards of play anytime. They'll go to Shovlin again. He'll run outside. He won't get the first down, I don't think, but he still got close to it. And really, Shovlin left 4 straight plays. And it looks like he'll come out this time. After having touched the ball only once, I believe, the first part of the game, he gets the last 4 carries. This time the running backs, 31 and 32, Kyle Long and Ricky Sterling. Sterling the fullback, Kyle Long the tailback. I wonder aloud if that's not Frank Long's kid. That Kyle Long, it's to ask Mike Barber when we were at dinner after the game. Long up the middle, hit hard, and that'll be interesting to see if he got the first down, because it looked like he got hit, knocked backwards at the line. They're giving him the first though. So 5:05. Under 5 minutes to go, third quarter. This time the pass is complete. So Springfield with by far their most impressive drive. Complete inside the 25. Jeremy Hudak the catch. And they really seem to have gotten, the fire lit under them. And DeChaco looking a lot more comfortable at the quarterback position. Hudak in motion this time. Long this single setback. And Springfield has to call a timeout as they're a little unsure of the play. Still 6-0. But Springfield driving and looking good on offense for the first time. So I was mentioning earlier in the game about some of the changes that we have made, not only to the athletic department but to the broadcast. So if you want to follow Interboro Athletics, not just football but all athletics, you can follow us on Twitter at GoBucksSports. And Mr. Barrett, Mr. Kloss keep a close eye on the athletics, and they'll tweet out any results as they happen at GoBucksSports. You can follow us on Twitter. Also, you'll definitely see an improvement in the way games are presented to you and footage is presented to you, not just with the Black and Gold Report, but games in general. You can watch us on YouTube. We'll have these games shortly after. Here comes Dan Mealy. I don't know what exactly he wants.
Go.
And outside goes Kyle Long for a first down, and Springfield inside the 15. At the 13-yard line, first down for the Springfield Cougars. They're changing the play again, or at least changing the line calls. A handoff to Long, and not much this time, so the defense finally tightens up. 3:25 and counting. And I tell you, with Springfield moving the ball, one of the things I'm thinking about here is the level of optimism that Bucks fans, Bucks coaches, and even the few Bucks players that I talked to had going into tonight would, if they wind up losing this game, even if it's by like a 7-6 score or something, gosh, that would be a tough one to swallow. Now, that said, May and the boys stack up the quarterback on a draw. It'd be 3rd down and 8 from the 11-yard line. We would think we're in 4-down territory here. But the Bucks just had that one touchdown, and the Springfield coaches would argue a controversial one at that, as Papillo actually rolled away with the ball, but it was called a touchdown as both him and DeSands landed on the ground with possession. The ball thrown on the slant, and it's caught. No, not caught. Incomplete. And I tell you, for all that I heard about this Archibong, the big 6'6", 255-pound tight end, really just one target. Now, he got the ball and he made a nice play, and he was very difficult to bring down. But here's a guy with at least Division I size, and he's been targeted once. So a little surprising to me. The guy really would think that maybe more balls would be thrown his way. 4th down. Pressure. Here it comes, and DiCiaccio can't get rid of it, and we'll see if they even just call it a sack. Either way, it's an incomplete pass, and Interboro will take over on downs, and after all that, offensive movement, a great defensive stand by Coach D'Esposito and the boys in black, and the Bucks will take over 1st and 10 with 2:11 to go here in the 3rd quarter. A great job by the Bucks defense. And Roy will come off the field as he doesn't play offense. So now it's time for one of those long, sustained Steve Lennox drives. They're at the 11-yard line. Let's rip off a 6-7 minute possession and knock another one into the end zone if at all possible. Thomas, nice tough run close to 1st down yardage. Would almost be better for the Bucks if it wasn't. It's 2nd down and 1. Kill some time in the huddle, run another play. Tick tock, tick tock. Ball up to the 20. They have to get to about the 20 and a half. So a nice carry on 1st down. We have Shaw and Thomas still in the backfield. You're going to see a lot more Thomas than you are Shaw. I can promise you that. It goes to Thomas again. He gets the 1st down. He didn't get much more than that. But it is enough. No, they're gonna. It's an official timeout. They're gonna measure this. They are gonna measure it. If whoever won the 50-50 is not claiming it, they don't want the money. I'll take it. I've never won one of those 50-50s. It'd be nice. I always hope that I win one like the Flyers game or the Union game or something. It wouldn't change my life, but it would really make me happy. If I could walk out with $4,000 or $5,000 in one fell swoop. I don't know that you get that here at the Bucks game, but it'd be nice to win one. That said, just another reason to come out to the South Avenue Sports Complex and enjoy a game live. Well, it's 1st and 10 for the Bucks. And the run to the outside, and a lot of side-to-side movement there. Chamberlain going to lose 2 or 3 yards on the sweep. And we need to turn that ball upfield. But we're under 40 seconds here in the 3rd quarter. Behind me, the junior high kids and the Termites keep up their long-standing tradition of paying absolutely no attention to the football game. I don't know that a junior high kid has ever actually sat in the stands and watched a football game. They're always back there socializing and whatnot. Probably the last play of the quarter, although it's a pass and it's incomplete, so it won't be.
That's fine.
Well, 3rd down and long. And really, after that first couple completions, May's been off the mark with most of his passes. There really hasn't been much of a passing game. But this is what you would think is an obvious passing down, 3rd down and 14. Which should be the last play. No, they go up the middle with Hummel. Hummel gets outside, and he does get the 1st down. Good job by Hummel. Yeah, spread him out wide and run it. And it's been working for Springfield on the last drive. A good job. The speedster finally able to turn upfield. And that's one of those things that can be so darn demoralizing for a defense, too. If you're Springfield, you got them pinned back 3rd and 14. They haven't had much success throwing the ball, and they run it on you and pick up a 1st down and then some. So the line of scrimmage, when we get back, will be the 35-yard line. And it's time to throw 4 fingers in the air. It's 4th quarter time here at the South Avenue Sports Complex. After 3 quarters of play, your Interboro Bucks still hold a 6-0 lead. They're down in the administration corner. You still have a good view of Principal Johnston and Son still down there. This athletic director, Ed Kloss. Sean Conti, Ryan Snyder, as well as the coach's daughter, Miss Fanning. Assistant athletic director, Joe Barrett. Billy McLaughlin's down there from my colleague in the history department. And former athletic director, Tony Meck. They're all down here. Anybody who says teaching's a 40-hour-a-week job or we're out of here by 3, well, you're crazy. All of them and then some taking in the football game here on Labor Day weekend. .36 is the line of scrimmage. 4th quarter time. Little option pitch out to Hummel. Hummel does a nice job shifting. Hummel still on his feet. Shaw with a great block downfield. If Shaw hits one more guy, he's going to go in. Brought down from behind at the 10-yard line, but a great job by Hummel, and it was set up right after he got it by cutting to the inside. And I got to tell you, Lamar Shaw really impressed me on that play. He didn't give up. He kept running downfield, and he was looking for somebody to hit, and that's not something you'd have seen out of Lamar Shaw last year. Good job by him. And the longest run of the day for the Bucks, and they have first and goal at the 10-yard line. Thomas back in. Shaw the lead blocker. It goes to Shaw. No, it doesn't. Another pitch. And May should have tucked that one. Boy, oh boy, that was close. Man, and May knows he made a mistake there, but Chris Thomas did a heck of a job holding on to that ball, because you certainly don't want to pitch one back and give one of their guys a chance to pick it up and run it all the way back. And that's what might have happened. But great job by Chris Thomas, really a turnover-saving play. And they only got a half a yard out of the play. It's amazing they got anything, because that's one of those balls that Danny May knows he should have just tucked and taken the hit. Straight ahead to Thomas. This is more his specialty. He gets a few. And truth be told, I mean, we're in 4-down territory because, quite frankly, Interboro really never kicks field goals. But if you had even the slightest bit of confidence in a place kicker, one more score, 3 points, makes it a 9-0 game. And it doesn't put the game away by any means, but Springfield has nothing. They haven't scored a single touchdown all game, no points at all. They'd have to score twice in under 10 minutes. So this is certainly an area where you would consider it. Kuyate outside on the sweep. Right idea, but can't turn it upfield. Close to the 5-yard line. It'll be 4th down. And listen, far be it for me to try to question Lennox. I don't know. Maybe they don't have a kicker. So if that's the case, then they're just going to go with Danny May. And now they're going to try a field goal. Cohen Ravert running out there. And, hey, you know what? I hope for his sake that he makes this. And, you know, because, again, they do not really try many field goals here at Interboro. And Vic Murtha, the holder, it looks like. And Ravert's going to be the guy to kick it. Now, I don't know young Cohen Ravert. I looked on my roster. I actually have him in class this year, so that would be a nice little first day of school conversation piece if he's able to make this kick, and I hope he does. Murtha to hold. Snap is good. The kick is up. He drills it with plenty to spare, and this is not the same kid that was kicking for the Bucks last year. He stepped up and drilled that ball. Now, it was only a 20-yard field goal, but even last year, just with extra points and all, you didn't see that level of confidence that Colin Ravert exhibited with that kick. He didn't look nervous at all when he stepped up and just pounded it through. And really, he hit the track with it. That's quite a distance back there. So, good job. And it's a 9-0 game. And more importantly, as I was saying, a 2-score football game. Now, Springfield's going to have to score twice in the final 9 minutes and 40 seconds. So, good job by Colin. And I'm really happy for this kid that I don't even know. And good job by Coach Lennox, because I've known this guy now for 17 years. And you talk about an individual you can set your watch by. This guy's routine is almost comical. I mean, he eats the same thing for lunch every day. It's just really funny. I mean, he has a certain set time he wants the guys to come out of the locker room. I mean, he lives his life a certain way. So change is not easy for Steve Lennox. So for him to come down into the red zone and call for a field goal where it's normally 4-down territory, hats off to him, man. And a good job by Colin Ravert to do that. And he'll come up at the 40-yard line, and hopefully he can launch a nice kick. Sometimes after a field goal, you're a little extra fired up, and you actually can kick it back for a touchback. Remember, in high school, if it hits the line, it's an automatic touchback. Need a big special teams play here. Last thing you want to do is give Springfield any glimmer of hope. And it's Sheeran, and I believe Davis back deep. Check on that in just a second. And Raver drills it. It's going to go inside the 10. So another really good kick by Cullen. It's Kyle Long, and this is exactly what they didn't want. He cuts back in, going to get cross midfield, and Kyle Long is going to take this one all the way to the house. Boy. Well then, all of a sudden we have a football game. And that's a 92-yard kickoff return for touchdown by Kyle Long. And I'll tell you what, man, he made the moves himself. I mean, he got blocks downfield, but he had enough vision to cut back to the inside, and he outran everybody who had an angle on him. Great effort by Kyle Long, and it's now a 9-6 ball game. So just when you think, you might have this one in the bag, goes to show you what can happen just like that in high school football. And to the truth be told, Raver kicked it beautifully. And I don't know that there's a such thing on a kickoff as out kicking your coverage, but maybe that's what happened there. So it's a 9-7 game. And now Interboro's offense is going to have to go on another one of those long time sustained drives. We got ourselves a football game. And I think the most impressive thing about that too is, the coach who probably was able to breathe a little sigh of relief after the Raver field goal sees their guy go 92 yards for a touchdown. The first thing he does is clap his hands and stay positive the whole time. I don't know how he does it, because if I was coaching, the clipboard would be on the field and my hat would be thrown somewhere and I'd be kicking the air, and he just claps his hands and stays positive. Well, now Interboro with their opportunity for a kickoff. Back deep, Kuyate, Adams, and I believe Thomas. No, Hummel.
Long will probably get rid of that.
Ball will be spotted up at the 40-yard line. Jack Corey, the kicker. We'll see which direction he wants to go. Imagine they'll kick it towards Adams, as he hasn't touched the ball yet. He's kind of the most untouched. Probably don't want Hummel to get it. And it will be Connor Adams. He gets it at the 7, and we'll see what he can do. Most important thing is hold on to the football, and he does just that. 22-yard line is the line of scrimmage. $9:17 to go. And it's fun. I'm thinking to myself, I guess I'm thinking out loud here. Every time I've been on the sidelines with Principal Johnson, he's one of those guys that always stresses special teams as well. And I guarantee you, whoever he's talking to down there, he's talking their ear off about the importance of special teams. Thomas, outside, close to first down yardage. First down. Move the chains, start running that clock. He might have been out of bounds, so they might and that's one of the things, even though we still have 9+ minutes to go, you want to talk about ticking off as many seconds as you can. Thomas up the middle for not much. We go inside 9 minutes. It's going to be 2nd down and 8. Ball out, and a great job by May. The ball comes out, and Dan May, the quarterback, and this is what happens, you know, sometimes when you have a bigger than average quarterback, at least for a high school kid anyway. May, you know, big tough kid, not afraid to jump on top of a loose ball. Now we're going to have 3rd down and 16, and now it's you know, for the first time in the game, I think I'm a little bit worried because you have to make a play here. There hasn't been a lot of success in the passing game. You don't think, you know, that the Hummel is back. You don't think they're going to run that same play again and beat Springfield. But this time they're going to run a reverse to Chamberlain. Chamberlain going to get stuffed behind the line of scrimmage back at the 20-yard line, and Murtha's going to have to punt from inside the 10, and Chamberlain's hurt. And both trainers out on the field. That was a big Archibald that came out there, and Chamberlain's hurt, and hopefully, you know, ain't always good when there's 5, 6 adults. Although Chamberlain is up sitting on his butt. A tough kid, good hockey player too. I like Mike Chamberlain. A good student as well. So it may be just, you know, got twisted the wrong way there by a much bigger kid. But Mike Chamberlain is a tough guy, and I think he'll be okay. Walking off under his own power. But now that we have that resolved and we know that Mike Chamberlain is going to be okay, the issue here in terms of this football game is that Nate Murtha's going to have to punt from about the 10-yard line. And you're going to have Sheeran and you're going to have Joe Kennedy back deep to receive this punt. 7:30 to go in the game. And Murtha, end over end kick, goes out of bounds at about the 47. It's a good field position for Springfield, and to be honest with you, I mean, you saw their guy Corey boot one. He's got a pretty good leg too. And a field goal could win this for the Springfield Cougars. 7:18 to go. Well, here we go. Big drive here. Now, I guess if there's any good news here, is that the Interboro defense hasn't given up any points. Coach D'Esposito and Coach Lennox always says, somewhat jokingly, hey, D-Rock gets me a shutout, I'm going to win every game. And he's pretty much right about that. And Coach D'Esposito and the defense has pitched a shutout. Unfortunately, the special teams gave up a touchdown on the last kickoff. So it's a 9-7 game with under 6:50 to go now in quarter number 4. And the third or fourth time Interboro's jumped off sides, and that's something that definitely needs to get worked on. Because they stuffed the guy on first down for like 2 yards, second down and about 8, which is a somewhat ideal situation. Now it's going to be second down and short, second down and 3. And we're not at the point in the game where these type of infractions are forgivable anymore. Handoff up the middle long. 34.5-yard line, first down for the Cougars. Right up the middle, another first down. And coach is yelling echo, which basically is their way of yelling play it again. They're not on the gut. They're.
They call a timeout. They call a timeout. They call a timeout.
So what went on there? And I'm half mumbling to myself and half trying to call a game, and I think I forget what I'm doing sometimes. The Springfield coaches are imploring the coaches on the sideline to tell the boys to hurry up and actually basically run the same play over again, which is something that you would probably do like in Madden football. Interboro guys couldn't get off the sidelines, and they wanted to snap the ball, but Interboro ends up having to call a timeout there. So, not that the timeout is all that valuable, but they do lose a timeout. They do have to burn a timeout. And the strategy of running the same play over, as you've seen it work the last couple of times that Springfield has had the ball and have had successful time-consuming drives. They've done so by basically running a pretty basic offense. And that's something you can do against a tired football team of guys who are playing both ways. And the ball comes out, and God, did Springfield get lucky that time. Faked the handoff to Long, and Sheeran was there to pick it up. But the good news is a 2-yard loss. Ball to 25, we're under 6 minutes. And whenever the ball's going backwards and not forward, it's good for you if you're a Buck fan. The Springfield slowing it down just a little bit here. Chacho rolls out, throws it a little bit high. He rolled out and was looking for Todd Johnson. I apologize. One of the coaches just used the Lord's name in vain. So if you love Jesus, I apologize. Maybe when the Pope comes in a couple of weeks, he can bless that guy. The Chacho to throw. Sheeran. Alligator armed it. He extended. Now, I don't know that he would have gotten feet in bounds anyway. And interesting here, too, with some of the play calling, because Springfield actually moving the ball pretty well on the ground. And they do have that fumble. And then they choose to throw the ball 2 times in a row. So they're going to go for it on 4th down, as this would be a 42-yard field goal. And there's not a whole lot of high school kids that can boot one from 42. So with 5:29 in the game, this is a big play. 3 wide receivers to the near end. Chacho back. Pocket closes around him, and a good job as the ball is overthrown. He was looking for Hudek. That coach on the sidelines is trying to get the ref to throw a flag because Hummel hit the guy. But honestly, that happens on every play where the ball is thrown a foot or 2 over his head. There was nothing inappropriate or illegal about that. Once again, I want to apologize to all my Christian brothers out there. Thomas bounces off. Stay in bounds. No, he's pushed out of bounds, and 3 flags come. And the Springfield coaching staff is going to be incensed that flag was called on Thomas Becker. I guess Thomas already stepped out of bounds. Becker gave him a pretty good two-handed shove, and that's going to be 15 yards tacked on. And I really, honestly don't think that it was a malicious play by Becker. I really don't. I don't think he was, frustrated and decided to put a hurting on it. I really don't think that's what happened. I think he maybe lost track of where he was, and he just, was gone for the tackle, gone for the push out. But it's a call that has to be made. And fortunately for the Bucks, it's a 15-yard and up to the 48-yard line, out of the danger zone now. Pattinson out far. End of your screen. DeSands on the near end of your screen. You're not going to see him throw it, that's for sure. Thomas. Tick-tock. And they'll take their good old time, as they should. Again, a really good defensive stance, and I think that Coach D'Esposito, you have to give him a lot of credit for getting this bunch of kids really ready to go for game one. The offense not clicking on all cylinders, just scoring the one touchdown and then the field goal, so just 9 points. But the defense has come to play today. 2nd down and 9. Another couple first downs, and you can salt this one away. May on the keeper. We'll see if we're like in jet sweep territory here or not. Kuyate is in the game. And 3rd and 7 is a lot of times they'll run something like that because they feel like they can rip off a few yards. I don't know that Coach Lennox is going to want to pass the ball and risk an incomplete pass and stoppage of clock, although Springfield theoretically could just call timeout if they stop the run anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter. That's what makes coaching and watching football so much fun. Lateral pass, Hummel, back inside, takes a heavy hit. Nice stick on the play by number 51, Matt Sella. Matt Sella, one of the few guys to see time last year that actually returned, didn't graduate. Got a nice little write-up about him in the paper. But 4th down, and you'll see Bertha, you think. So Springfield going to get the ball with a lot of time left on the clock. And Bertha done a good job punting the ball. Sheeran, this single safety, back there to receive the punt. They're going to kick it as far away from him as they can. And really a good job by Bertha to the 12.5-yard line. And Springfield, if they're going to come back and win this game, they have a long way to go. They have to go 87.5 yards in under 3 minutes. When their offense hasn't registered a touchdown all game. So defense back on the field. These boys are tired, hands on hips, but nothing will energize them like a big win. Royer, Frangeli, Thomas, Matt Okuda, Pattinson. You see Jake Paff in there. May, who's played the quarterback position. Kuyate, Connor Adams, DeSands, and Hummel. Those are the 11 out there charged with trying to keep this 2-point lead with 2:51 to go. Right up the middle for a couple yards there. About 7. And Kyle Long's been the go-to guy here late in the game. And they're going to run it again. Kyle Long right up the middle. Not enough for a first down. May. Thomas. And what Springfield does do is they do a good job getting back to the line and running a hurry-up type offense when they want to. Now it's a 3rd down and 3, so it's an important play here because you go into 4th down and that could be the ball game. They're going to throw it. Pressure from Royer, forces a high throw, but a nice catch by Long, but an even better tackle by Connor Adams, the junior. Representing homeroom 11A. Great job by Connor Adams to make that tackle sort of out there on an island by himself. He went down, grabbed him by his legs, and threw him down. So a great job by Adams, and that's going to be 4th down, and Springfield forced to use a timeout. Minute 47, and what will now be the biggest play of the game.
I'm going to get holding out the spot in the corner. The spot's for running back. He's going to go to the Running back to the flat. Great, that's what hurts last play. Long do not run to the flat.
Oh, minute 47 to go. Springfield back on the field. Interboro back on the field. They need to get 3 yards. Does Springfield? The rest Interboro has the ball with really a chance to end this football game. Archibong looked like he went early. Long, 1v1, and oh boy, all kinds of room. Can Hummel head him off? He will not. Touchdown, Springfield. Wow, as simple as that. They shifted everybody over on the left side of the line and left Long 1v1 and just dumped it off on him, and the strategy worked, and he just took it to the distance. Great speed by Kyle Long, and with a minute 33 left in this game, Springfield has a lead. Boy, if there's ever a game that Interboro doesn't really deserve to lose, this would be it, and yet that's what it's looking like. It's going to take a heck of a comeback here. Boy, and this will also, on top of all that, be like 4 straight times that Interboro's lost to Springfield. Kick is up and good, so it's 14-9. And Interboro not known for their hurry-up offense. Maybe they can get a good kick return here. We'll wait and see. You know what? The mettle and the leadership skills and the courage under pressure and the passing skills, all that of Danny May will be tested right now. Quarterback who used to be a fullback making his first varsity start for the Bucks has a minute 33 for one of those classic come from behind 4th quarter comeback drives. Interboro's been ahead the whole game. If you've been with us really since the second drive of the game, Matt DeSands catches a 23-yard touchdown pass to put him up 6-0. A Rayford field goal with 10 minutes to go makes it 9-0. That's all the scoring there was. Springfield takes the ensuing kickoff. Kyle Long, 92 yards for a touchdown. And then on that last play, 79 yards on the pass for a touchdown. Really, the legs of Kyle Long have been the difference in this football game. Number 42, it's Jack Corey. He's got it teed up at the 40-yard line, and we'll see where it goes. This time it's going to go to Hummel, which is probably our best option. He got it at the 5. Let's see. Hummel trying to make a play. Not going to make it past the 23-yard line, so a long way to go and a short time to get there if you're a Bucks fan. Danny May, this is your first of many big moments. Most of the starting quarterbacks here at Interboro, they get 1 year and 1 year only to kind of make a legacy for themselves. And he'll have a lot more games after this, but this is the first time. And what an opportunity for him to really build that legacy or start that legacy with a fourth quarter comeback. And it's not just on him. It's on this young offensive line. It's on a junior tailback named Chris Thomas. It's on DeSands, a junior. Chase Pattinson, the big tight end who hasn't been targeted all night.
Wait, what about back? He's in that spot.
Let's see what we have here. May takes the snap. They're going to go with the halfback pass and a bullet thrown by Murtha. And the reason why that doesn't come as a surprise is Murtha's the backup quarterback, and he really threw that ball on a line. Now, I've heard a number of football players say that Murtha throws a beautiful ball, and you saw it right there.
I ran a corner. He's in front of him. He's got a
Murtha runs a sweep and fires the ball downfield, and it's caught at the 43-yard line. And usually, to be honest with you, Coach Lennox doesn't like to run that play until he's around midfield. So a little cross up there. Now, Bucks have to call a timeout, and that's not really a timeout they want to take. Remember, they had to use one earlier, and then they had to use this one. And there's only 1:07 left. Field goal's not going to do you any good. They need a touchdown. Definitely what you would consider one of those edge-of-your-seat games. Maybe the only person not on the edge of his seat is the can man going around collecting cans. He, too, was optimistic about the season, although he was a little upset that the aluminum's down to 30 cents a pound. Said it's not as lucrative as it used to be. But me and Can Man are both in the same spot. We're both pulling for a Bucks comeback and a Bucks win here. And a game that goes to show you that it doesn't have to be a lot of scoring for it to be an exciting football game. And that's where we are. 1:07 to go. Bucks down 5. They need a touchdown. Pattinson singled up on the outside. Keep an eye on that. 4 wide receivers. Shaw in the block. May rolls out. May will get a yard or two, but not much more. And they're going to have to get up on the line of scrimmage. And that's their last time out. 55 seconds left. They ran quite a bit of time off and didn't get much. So now they have to go 54 yards with no timeouts. 54 yards in 54 seconds. Now, I've seen big plays out of this offense. Let's hope they have one dialed up here. And really what this situation is all about is being able to find a mismatch, the way that the Springfield Cougars did on the other side of the ball. Get one of your fastest guys on somebody you think they can beat.
Their backers were good. We got tired.
It's one of those things that, if you watch professional football and you see Chip Kelly and what the Eagles do, what makes him so successful as an offensive coach is he's able to find mismatches. And that's what Coach Lennox has to be able to do here. Pitch, and it's gone to Murtha. Murtha falls on it, and they were going to run the same play where Murtha was going to fire it downfield. But with 45 seconds left, boy, they're in a whole heap of trouble. As they lost about 15 yards on that play. Ball at the 35-yard line. They have absolutely no reason to be in a huddle right now at the 30-yard line. There's also 12 men in the huddle there, which I guess you could do in high school. But that should be a penalty. May. He's got to get out of bounds. Great awareness. But there's only 14 and a half seconds left. And they're back where they were to the original line of scrimmage, and it's 4th down. So the first thing that the Bucks have to do is get 9 yards on this play. That's the first thing. Good job by DeSands, though. Instead of turning enough field and getting more yards, he realized he had to get out of bounds. Whether it was a coach screaming in his ear or whether it was his own intuition, DeSands did a good thing there. Cougars in the prevent. Boy, this is one that they're going to be sick if they lose because they played well enough to win. 4 wide receivers. May. Sacked, and that's the ball game. Archibong, the big guy. And Springfield takes over with 9.4 seconds left. And if there's one thing that'll sort of knock the wind out of your sail or the optimism out of you, it's an opening night loss. And boy, I usually, to tell you the truth, walk away from these games and don't think much about them. I just announce them. But I really feel for Coach Lennox and I feel for the Interboro Bucks because I've seen a pep in Coach's step that I haven't seen in 2 or 3 years. I saw he was really in a good mood this week, and I think he was really optimistic about this football team. And I know that this is really going to, I mean, he's a guy that takes this stuff personally, and this is really going to bother him. And I hope that, you know, they'll take this as a good learning experience. It's the first week of the season. There's still 10 games left. Let's go out and get some more wins, qualify for the playoffs, win Del Val, and boy, what a tough one though. Springfield 14, Interboro 9. We'll see you next week at Strathaven. Stay tuned for some additional coverage. And remember, follow us on Twitter at GoBuckSports. We'll see you next week, friends. Bye-bye.